Like we got a class trial to settle. So, let's do it. This is my last one. Yes, please start off where I left off. Heading into the red room. Ooh. Whoa, Byakuya and Makoto showed up together. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together? Just the two of you? What, are you jealous?
Hey.
Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Any second. He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself. But we stood there for 5 full minutes, waiting for something weird to happen. And then 5 minutes became 10. And 10 minutes became 15? What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet? Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or...? Bread is food, and good. Or what? Jesus! I hope you ain't trying to steal my face for food, but then again, I cheer. I don't know, I just thought it'd be funny. I got tired of the other notification. Oh, your food, okay.
Come on.
That makes more sense. I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? You got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Obviously. Huh?
In other words...
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here, now can we? Just one specific part? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. But I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. When we heard that voice, we all spun around to look.
Hey.
I'm here, and no rule's been broken. Kyoko! Kyoko, you're still alive? Alright. Oh, shit, I forgot to have his play. No, that's a ghost! Ruh-roh, Raggy. Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
Is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later. No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of ya. Ooh, yikes. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko? So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God. I'm so glad you're okay. It's because phones are stupid. Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? He's right. Now we gotta deal with the ghost. I told you, stop talking.
Let's go.
You know, that's what brothers are for. Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me. Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long. I'll be happy when this trial is all over. Yeah. One after another, everyone piled into the elevator. I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. That is also true. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you, where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So?
Correct.
I want to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that. I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then, when did you find out?
So...
Always, of course. Zoophiles are scum. Just now. I finished my search and came back down just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However...
Sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, then what's that? Then that's what the key you found goes to?
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words...
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Just a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma. Uh-huh. Just in the walls, dude. That's all you need to know. We can go over all the details after we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation. Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her. Oh, hey, what's up, Elise? Been a little while. Oh, no. That's a strange way to put it. That is, I'm sure. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all, fuck off. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. And the door slid shut. Yeah, it's gross. This time the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. Oh hey, thanks for the new follow. In that dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. Welcome to the stream. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair. Whoa, what the fuck? I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed. Let's get on with the show. Wow. And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. Oh, I finished Spider-Man. A deadly class trial. I don't think I have any new skills to set. He said don't search it up. Don't tell him that. Don't give him more ideas.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. If you can figure
We
it,
know.
I'll punish everyone. Okay, well.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
The Boys 12U? Is that like supposed to be like the Boys comic? That is true. I always look at my name.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
Kyoko's alive, dumbass.
Standing right there.
No, that's a ghost.
Thank you.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution
Oh.
in ghost technology.
Let's see here. Really? Is the Boys comic? Hello, Santa Cruz. Nice. Cool. I'm not gonna give you more ammunition.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay.
Hey,
So I
yo.
just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right?
I mean,
Then
yeah.
Let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
Well, I've always had a bunch of people in and out. One important trait Kyoko has that proves about.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure.
What do you need from our gloves?
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got
Yeah,
burnt
no
up in the
corpse.
explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
There's no way that corpse was Kyoko. But if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. So I don't have any choice but to make your argument. Oh, the usual.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost. Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before.
Well, yeah. She must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely...
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Ah, shit. Well, okay, what did I miss? My dark saber finally came in, so now I am the rightful ruler of Mandalore.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before this.
Well, yeah. She must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Shit. Okay. This is actually really difficult.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I'm not even sure.
That Kyoko
There is just a little pus-
Okay, then prove it.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
they got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Okay, I think I know what it is. I think.
That Kyoko
There is just a little pus-
Okay, then prove it.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
they got burnt up in the explosion.
It's not letting me.
Then she was wearing gloves before the
Well, yeah, because that corpse is
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Okay, maybe. I have an idea.
Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in
In the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves.
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I was so unsure about that.
There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right?
Logan Paul does gaming stuff?
It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails.
Jeez, man.
It
You
would
know
be.
women, huh?
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Yeah.
Should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Yeah, this dude's dumb as hell.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the
Ah, but
first
thank
thing
you.
I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
For anything, we have to identify the victim, which we know who the victim is. I'm not eating, though. Alright, let's see what we got.
Kyoko really is still alive. Then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so.
The face was scorched beyond recognition.
Damn it! Damn it, damn it, damn it.
Shoot!
I for sure.
If Kyoko really is still alive,
Then who died?
There's gotta be some way to. I don't think so.
The face was scorched.
And there wasn't any description in the mnemonic. Oh, if we can't identify the body.
then there's nothing else we can do, right?
Nani?
Kyoko really is still alive. Then who died?
There's gotta be some. I don't think so.
The face was.
And there wasn't any description in the mnemonic. Come on. Oh, if we can't identify the body.
Then there's nothing else
We can do, right?
Oh, fuck. Fortnite.
If Kyoko
Really is still. Then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure
I
it
do.
out. I don't think so.
The face was.
And there wasn't any description in the. Oh, if we can't identify the body.
Boom. All right. Sasuke.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? You're lying. He'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Why would I be lying?
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
Ooh, that's a tough question.
Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was
Who I would punch?
is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Well, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it.
Oh, really?
Oh shit! Let's go. I don't know if I can really think of anyone.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
I don't know if there's really.
So, to show that they're
Probably
a member
just
of
like the guys in charge of
soldier that joins the
Activision.
squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
Don't look up that. The image that represents Fenrir is. Oh my god, are you serious right now? Oh, what's up, Gold? Wolf.
Now I understand.
Hi.
The representation of Fenrir is
A wolf.
Fenrir. The wolf
I
of
watched
Fenrir.
Thor Ragnarok,
It's a
directed by
noble
Taika Waititi.
A huge world-ending wolf. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
Right?
Then that means
exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind?
That's what we were led to believe.
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? Now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
Hina? Yeah, she's pretty nice.
No.
I like her.
It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
Correct.
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character?
She's
Which
just
would
a
mean
red
she's the
herring.
same as us, just another participant.
But where's she been this whole time?
Then who's the real mastermind?
Your mom.
It must have been...
I'm sorry.
He was having a master.
Wow.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost.
Not second and... What's like the opposite of foremost?
Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this.
Remember this.
No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
Bitch, no one gives a fuck about your family.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more
Chocolate
time
beer?
for the record.
Amazing.
The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place.
Wait, there was a murder?
Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains.
Yes, my brain is big.
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Bam, bam, bam.
One of us killed Mukuro?
Bam,
No.
bam,
There's a
bam.
chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along.
Probably not. That's probably pushing it.
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Okay, but originally you said there was only 15.
Then one of us
So how
killed
can we even
Mukuro?
trust that?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
We have?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Gee, I wonder who it is. Who could it be?
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm.
Because no one's seen you for like a
there was
day
no
and I
dead
had the
body
knife.
there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
I don't give a shit about the Borderlands movie because I didn't even care. I'm not super into the games. I just really want to play Tiny Tina's Wonderland. That's pretty much it. And it's got Kevin Hart in it, so that automatically ruined it for me.
The whole time we were very careful.
And
not to go
then
anywhere
Last of Us, I might check out. And then if I end up liking that, I'll probably finally get around to playing the
All of which is
games.
to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis.
Are me?
Man, Makoto.
That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Yep.
Exactly so.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of?
Now, when you say furry, do you mean just like material-wise or like animal or like furry?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place.
Time frame.
Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
So I'm gonna go material-wise.
Whatever you want.
But I would have to say a robe. I don't really wear slippers.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at, well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock.
10
The
o'clock,
murder
eh?
Must have happened after 10 p.m.
Must have.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right?
So it should have been about 9.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Yeah, he's also the reason I'm not gonna go watch the stupid League of Super Pets movie. Cheesecake, easy. We already know this part.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
That's still a pretty big time frame.
I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Wait a minute.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. Yeah, to make clear on the body, ended up in the garden. Okay. Ooh, that's a tough one.
We've established a time.
I'm gonna
frame
say
for the
Home
murder.
Alone.
It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Okay. So now, okay, it's the sprinklers.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I think.
Okay.
So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
We've established a time
Frame for the murder.
It took place somewhere between 10 and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi.
Yeah, from 10 to 7:30.
No, what? And Kevin's short too.
Shoot!
Okay, I needed a contradiction.
We've
I
established
thought
a
it was the
time frame for
sprinklers.
It took place somewhere between
10
and 9
o'clock,
Yep.
2 in the morning.
Yeah, from 7:30.
That's more than enough time to so Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Kevin Hart.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between...
Okay, there we go. I knew it was just the sprinklers. Yeah, it's Pedro
The
Pascal.
murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden.
They go off right at 7:30.
The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on.
Pen Bolsa.
Perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
Because we had to put out the fire. Oh, hi. How's it going? I am good. How about you?
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew
At
such
no
a
point did
word?
anyone say that. What the fuck, Toko?
I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
And only the top half.
What do you mean?
I don't think Simon is here.
Are you trying to deny my entire existence?
What?
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you better tell us why!
I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers. Oh. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence, and that should do it. You look at the body to make it clear. Why do I have to do an argument? Ah! Okay, okay,
I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I'm right about this. I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! How can you say it wasn't the spring?
This should prove it.
this should prove it. I never rage quit because of the class trial. What are you talking about?
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers.
Because it literally fucking
Top half of
exploded.
the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
Oh, they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because
Alright. That's just
while the
my
body
look of
was still on
determination.
fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers was really typical.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means
I don't know what that
it
means.
was sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
Alibi.
In which case, the only one
You
left
ain't got no
without an
alibi. You know?
is Kyoko.
Oh, Pablo Pascal. No, Pedro Pascal. Wait, what? Kyoko's the only one without an alibi, which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No. I refuse to believe it. Just like every other time, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone, that's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
But if someone died... What?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game, and now you decide to blame me?
I mean, you're not really the
Stop wasting
mastermind.
time. Stop wasting energy.
Yeah, dude, just make some fresh bread real
Your
quick.
little trick is gonna work.
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss. Shutting up now.
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the master, and as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
Mm-hmm.
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
It does seem that way.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Really?
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting.
All it would take was covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
A tarp.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water.
Would it though?
In fact, that's exactly what the killer did.
How do you know if you're not the killer?
The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side
Alright,
that
I
got
can
covered
see
in
it.
water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely,
Yeah, 'cause water can still get under the tarp.
Actually took place. In other words,
Especially if it's
created a
covering
suit
something.
exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Are you trying to get us all killed? Can't think about that right now. That tarp. If we use the way Kyoko has said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? The body
Wait. Something's not right.
would have blood on it?
And what might that be?
You can't worry about Kyoko. Come on. But everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Alright, let's do it again.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side was the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna let my decisions influence this ending. And you know, that also gives me some reason to come back to play the game again. I don't know. Pretty much all my headphones are all super soundproof. Something probably fell down.
The body with the tarp,
Okay, I need to focus up here.
prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Ah, fuck. Yeah, I can't really hear anything. I can barely hear the sounds when you guys play them. Okay, I think I got it.
The killer prevented it from getting
So the reason the tarp was only dirty is because the sprinkler got that.
But the underside of the tarp,
Hello there.
it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the... Of course it didn't get dirty.
Aha!
No, it's wrong.
Yeah, see, I didn't even hear that.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right?
It was still wet.
Yakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
In addition, the blood would have dried if you did it hours
Maybe
ago.
the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
more than that. What if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
What was
What
camouflage?
if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
The nurse's
I know.
office.
They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
Chicken blood.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
All right.
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens.
5 chickens.
But after the murder, there were only 4.
So you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body.
I don't know, man.
But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it.
Yeah, it's really gross if you don't cook the chicken.
The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait.
No!
No. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Oh, see you later, Elise.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
But if we get this wrong, then everyone dies. So I don't understand why they would try to... Why she would try to frame Makoto.
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
And suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. I don't understand either, really.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
One we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back.
Did it?
So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Ah, shit.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Yeah, it's the knife he gave me.
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
The knife that Kyoko gave to me, to be specific.
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Then why did you hide that fact?
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed.
Shut up, hero!
Stuff in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. And he's got a really shitty alibi.
one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it.
Makoto did it! Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, so there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well,
Getting stabbed is what killed her, so there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
But wait, the knife was clean.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we...
It really is, isn't it? I was
If he did have that knife, that seals it. Makoto... Just because I had the knife, that automatically...
well,
Getting stabbed.
Damn it! Fuck.
Shoot!
You gotta find the contradiction.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife, that seals it. Makoto... Just because I had the knife, that automatically...
well,
Getting stabbed is what killed her.
You took that knife...
Horrible man you are, Makoto.
Come on, I got this.
The knife we found lodged... It's the same one we... It really is, isn't it? I was afraid...
If he did have that knife, that seals it. Just because I had the... That automatically...
well,
Ah!
No, it's wrong.
Fuck! That was way too loud.
Hold on. The
Well, at least I
stab
could
wound
hear
isn't
it.
what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp and then put the bloody coat on it, right?
Right!
In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Aha!
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
I really guessed on that one.
Totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer.
Ooh, this is getting tough.
They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound, and then they meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Interesting.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow
Damn
up
it,
all of a
hero.
sudden like that?
If you bothered
Yeah, he's a
to put that
total
lump of gray
pothead.
matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
That feels unnecessary.
You're so smart. Just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right?
Right.
That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Yes.
Anyway, the culprit's
Yes,
motive is
that too.
becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That is true.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Uh-oh. Oh, it's a make your argument. Okay. Alright, just one bullet.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
I don't know.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file...
Oh, I love the class
That's gotta be
trials.
it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Oh, that wasn't it. I jumped the gun.
Shoot!
Then shall we continue?
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well, yeah, she was over.
And it wasn't me because of...
And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah.
That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more
Oh,
than
yeah.
that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire...
Fuck.
Shoot!
Okay, gotta find a contradiction. I'm getting close to the end there. Okay.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file... That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Knife was a cover-up, but all those other wounds on her body weren't. Only leaves...
Then shall we continue?
Continue the debate?
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be...
The explosion didn't
Think
kill
I
her
got
for
it?
sure.
Well, yeah, she was already...
And it wasn't me because of the knife. And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that,
The victim had suffered countless...
Nope. Okay. No rage
Then shall we
quitting.
continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
well, yeah,
of the night. And then there's only one other thing.
Can I look at the Monokuma file real quick?
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that,
The victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
then shall we
Continue the debate?
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
There we go. Okay.
No, it's wrong. Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. But they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
What was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
So probably
I bet it was the pickaxe!
pickaxe is sharp, not blunt.
If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
That sounds about right.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
The fuck?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
I got it!
Was that really it?
Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed him. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the Cobra attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about
Ooh,
it.
man. I am getting lucky all around.
That sounds kinda weird. Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
One more secret. They were bound together, okay.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right?
Right.
I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right?
Right.
It seems like an arrow would just...
Ah, shit, I missed.
Back to mask. You have no right!
Come on.
The titanium arrow.
It was in the dojo. I have
No doubt that was the murder
Are
weapon.
you sure?
You don't sound
Well, if it said the weapon must have been about as thick, it seems like an...
No, it's wrong.
Unless you bind them together. Break.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape.
Covered in blood.
The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's
Easily.
exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's
Hello.
fable, but the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
It's pretty harsh.
You even listen.
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon.
Alright, so we have murder weapon, time frame.
Stashed the weapon in the dojo locker.
They were alright, you know, holidays as an adult. I'm pretty much all the same at this point. How about you?
It was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto?
We do.
Oh,
The woodblock key was in our
What's the matter?
room.
Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you?
Yeah, all of us will die.
If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all. Remember?
It's fair.
of
I
course
feel that
I
way all the
remember.
time, but I don't know where any cliffs are.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is
The woodblock key.
the key to the dojo locker.
Nice.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
She seems confused.
Don't bother trying to play dumb.
Alright.
That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibis, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
Oh no.
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just there's one more thing I need to ask her.
Why?
Kyoko, I want you to tell me something.
I don't think I do.
Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was
So?
just protecting you.
From who?
What?
She was protecting me. Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could that be when? Which means that Kyoko. Cowboy Bebop, the original, was pretty good.
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Oh.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it.
Okay, yeah, Cowboy Bebop is one that I really like that only has a season.
Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
She did a Byakuya to Byakuya. Byakuya should know better. What does that mean?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Because he found the body.
You hide it.
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated
Nice.
a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker. and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Nice.
Those words you just spoke.
What exactly what I said? I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone.
Okay, I think I got it.
Master would never hide something from me.
There's
'Cause-
proof that you aren't the clue.
No, okay. I think I got it.
Shoot!
Oh, I'm almost dead.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that.
Byakuya,
What are you hiding?
Master would never hide something.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you are.
Boom.
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room
Because Byakuya had the key.
Why not?
because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us, an obvious lie, but this just isn't like her, to try and save herself with such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? I mean, technically my name is just supposed to be a play on the Batman Who Laughs, kind of like an opposite. But you're not wrong. Welcome to the chat, the channel. All right. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of school will stay hidden, which is why I can't let that happen. But if you kill... This is a trap the mastermind has... Okay. Mastermind's trap. Mastermind is trying to... What if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? The mastermind's trap. I have not. What is that? The victim was Makuro and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? It's because she is a strong, independent woman. That's probably smarter than him, let's be honest. Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. The only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? Mastermind's trap. Remove forward. What do I do? I always watch the dub just because with my ADHD it makes it really hard to focus on subtitles. So I usually have to check my phone a couple of times when I'm watching something. have to believe in Kyoko. There has to be some secret here, something that has to do with Mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
Right.
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
It had to be Makoto.
Why does the blame keep getting moved to me?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
A hidden side?
There's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
What?
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What?
What? Time's up?
We...
What do you mean time's up? There's
What?
no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
What? What? What is going on? Well, we didn't come to a verdict.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
What is going on? Everyone, you're wrong. You got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Yep.
They got what? I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
Makes perfect sense. It's the same as always, and just like all the other class trials, I'm gonna end it the same way. It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, what do I... Kyoko?
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
What? Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
But I'm Makoto. I'm so confused. Alter ego! Me? No, that's the whole point. The whole reason I'm streaming this is because I never played it before. What's this? What's going on? Hey, was that? Yeah, it had to be.
This is
Alter ego. Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this.
It would
Seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
in other words,
What I'm saying is you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an inch. That stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit. In a way that's even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. See, gone? Hey Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? What the hell is going on?
calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being tracked this time.
In other words,
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
so
You'll understand soon enough. I don't know if I'll do the whole chapter 6, but if it's about to start... What? I'll at least get some of it in. The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in the bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. What the fuck? It brings in top students from every field imaginable as a government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it seems the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, what makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are 2 things you need to attend this school. 1, you have to already be attending high school. 2, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. Standing here at the gate of the... What happened? Was me. Okay. Wait, what? What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard-wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but... What was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Yeah! Finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast, dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I gonna be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me. And he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. And how does he know that? So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. Gee, I wonder where the way out could be. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and save real quick. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. That looks familiar. A rocket in a tank. That's from the beginning of the game, right? Rattle, rattle. Rata, rata, rata. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. I'm not getting out of here anytime soon. I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. That was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. Feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed, and all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. It was a body! Crunch. What the? The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. You activated my trap card, Kaiba! As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from above. What could it have been? So, that is an interesting question, because don't they usually incinerate their trash? Carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash, rude! Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells.
She got a cup of noodle on her head.
awful.
Whoa, look, a Naruto. Kyoko,
Indeed.
you look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here? Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Ah, yes. Rolls in water. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. Whew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up, then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a... Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me? To pay a debt. Or no, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. Abandoned you. Don't say that, you didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to... Wait, what? I thought you had amnesia. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak? That's right. At least I did. Once. Once. Until recently, I've forgotten what that was. You forgot, but that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. Amnesia. The Dark Descent. A machine for pigs, even. Rebirth. And is it really true you lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? The first thing. You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that? You watched the false first episode. I'm not sure if you know this, but actually there is a season 0 of Yu-Gi-Oh! An adaptation of the original first arc, when Yugi straight up murdered people in real life, not just sending them to the Shadow Realm.
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the Mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability, somehow they would interfere with the Mastermind's plan. So the Mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean, somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the Mastermind, which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that and we all worked as one, the Mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always a chance that the Mastermind is actually one of us. You kick Kaiba's ass, yeah. I have a theory about the Mastermind. I don't want to say anything just yet, but I have theories. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make it too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The Mastermind, one of us. Nah, I'm a Satanist. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around here. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. I don't care. Because among everyone, you were the least likely to be the Mastermind. Oh, that's fucked up. That was just genuine intuition, but... I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the Mastermind. For real.
I understand.
And to make things worse, you play magic.
I should understand
devil takes bad people.
My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Gah! I've seen a little bit of the abridged version, mostly just clips on TikTok. Why did that just happen? Mostly all it makes me think about is Perfect Cell from the Dragon Ball Z abridged.
Listen,
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I don't know, I don't believe in any of those guys anyway. I never know, I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. Do I need to click on her again? You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. Don't say that name! Not here! This is a safe space! So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least. I'm finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. Whoop. Sorry, I needed regular water. My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. The ultimate detective. Nice try, the ultimate detective is Batman. Get wrecked, scrub.
correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy Weight Watchers? I mean, I guess, like I said, I don't really, basically Satanism is just a fancy word for atheist, so I don't really believe in those guys. Organized atheism, we'll call it. There was someone I had to find here in the school. Atheist? It means I don't believe in God. And by extension, the devil, Jesus. Well, not necessarily, just, you know. You had to find someone who?
So,
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father! Gasp! Shock! What? Poor K?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster, and that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved.
no matter what,
Yeah, I don't... Why am I getting James Corden ads?
So,
I don't know. Sometimes I wish I could get a little bit more control over what kind of ad plays. My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. See, that makes sense, because VR is video games. What's up? How's it going? I stream video games, so why do I have James Corden? I felt alright. Makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However,
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. NordVPN kind of makes sense too. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Oh, thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Auto clickers are nice. Maybe one of these days I'll get one, just for shits and giggles. I don't know what I'd use it for, though.
so
I'm thinking you saw the James Corden ad, too. The room had been ransacked, the shelves were a mess, the desk drawers were dumped on the floor. I mean, if I had a VR, I'd probably do more exercise games with it, too. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean, the mastermind?
it's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. Is this some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Makuro's profile in that key. You know what's funny is that Prime got blocked on Twitch the other day because they showed NSFW content. Naughty content. Which is funny because, you know, Amazon owns Twitch now. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. Not safe for work. And I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. Just dirty stuff. Naughty, naughty stuff that you don't look at work. Nice, dude. Appreciate you. I assumed that if they were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
Yeah. And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
But once I got there, I had noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have cameras. So what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized, sure. Whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
so
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. And I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. Sounds like it must be important. That I knew. Yeah, I'll be honest. I feel like Doom 3 VR because I love Doom 3. Darth Vader Immortal just because Star Wars. Beat Saber, but even then I feel like you have to like download popular songs in there. I might do Resident Evil 4 just to see what it's like in VR. And really ominous.
however,
Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Ikasaba, doesn't it?
however,
That'd be pretty cool. Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then who did kill her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. Alright. Really? That's sad. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikasaba was to get me killed. killed. I stole that key and disappeared. In retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
Alright, catch you later, dude. That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
Right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
hey,
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Makuro Ikasaba. What's that? There was a point where Makuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you. I could have become the victim?
indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean during the night? I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What the fuck? What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell and I saw a white shadow across the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room and saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. What? She said of course twice. I stopped them, but that led to whoever the masked assailant was. They ended up dead.
correct.
Or did they? And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Makuro is also the mastermind, right? I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right? You're right. That is a contradiction. And it's not just Makuro. They needed a class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So, what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Oh, excuse me. Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair. There's no doubt that Makuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event.
That's
You're
right.
talking about what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy, whoever is responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair? That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. And they're, make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. Yeah. Because I feel like it has preloaded games, and I don't think you can buy, like, popular games you want to play or, like, the anime games. You basically have to mod it. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. I'm not going to give a name. Necessarily, but I think the mastermind is someone who went out of their way to get killed almost, so they wouldn't have to have an investigation and prove that they were dead. Someone who died almost right off the bat. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Still at 6. All right. All right. We haven't hit 3 hours yet, so it looks like I got Dream Island Rocket present. The Ultimate Despair, a group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that got you from the headmaster's room? Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Hey Kyoko, we can use that key to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then... click! Let's go, baby! Yes, it opened.
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. I don't think I changed the part name for this. Finally, we were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief. Because the real fight had just begun. The ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up, like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. Don't look up her skirt, you perverts! The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into the darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down. Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep your mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long? Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous? Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So...
Right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride.
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society, which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort? What was that?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational, but it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains... Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all these years, right? You would have had so much to talk about, right?
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However.
There is something I want to say to him, though. What? He's a bitch? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Is that not what you had before? Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, he had a promising future.
However.
But he had no interest in detective work, so he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name, so every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I had gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. But that's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However.
But there's one thing that I can never forgive. Really.
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. Oh shit, I didn't realize he was talking. Nice. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However.
When the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow. That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past, in order to remove him from my life forever, I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, to just cut him out like that.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No. Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after that, I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this is it. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow, man. Welcome in.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. Hi! I unlocked it earlier, so it should have opened without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Ah, okay. Oh, I'm glad you're here to check it out. Looks like we're back. But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. This is actually my first time playing it. I got the Danganronpa Decadence collection, so I'm gonna play through all the games in there. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. Well, looks like we're in the trash room. So what's the next step? Oh, I need to talk to her. Silly me. So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out, and I'm worried about you too, you helped me, so they might...
Listen,
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
so
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
then, in other words,
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's... If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time until we're found out. It's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry, what you think is going to happen isn't. Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared, eh? You said something like that before. What does it mean?
so
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Makuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little, no, super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we? I mean, they're already gonna know you're still alive.
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym. Let's get going. Well now. Alright. Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay? You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty part is exposed during a class trial, they alone will be executed. Party. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again, and this time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko, do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However,
But before you do, let me just say one thing. If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? I lose? You, explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
because
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted to use an excuse to kill me.
in other words,
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right? What are you talking about?
however,
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crumbling down in the city that you love, love, love. The results of the trial weren't all what you were expecting, because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that. And in response to that unexpected development, you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
however,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter Ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come into our aid even after you'd killed it.
am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Murkuro. You did. Murkuro.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for what it should surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. Until Blacken is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? That's what you said. And that means I lose? You talk a big game, but you're saying the Blackened is me and not Makoto?
Well,
And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? To make such a bold claims without a shred of
that
evidence.
doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee you I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk to me like some kind of famous detective type?
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution, he would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you love to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me the absence of this evidence? Yeah. It's not you I'm trying to convince.
hey,
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh? Is that a fourth wall break?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope. And I'm the ultimate hope! Right?
Hey,
Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fair and
that's
square,
what we have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Makuro's trial over again? This time you follow school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair.
Ooh.
Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial, one last showdown, in other words. That would be our one chance to expose the true identity of Makuro's killer. Of the mastermind themselves! Ooh, I might have to... Am I almost done? But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. Very interesting indeed. Very.
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So, time for bear jokes. Now that you suggested might be possible, it would certainly make for one honey of a
in
climax.
other words,
Does that mean you accept? If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable desire, right? Despair, right? And I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain
Let's have one
myself.
final grisly showdown. He agreed. And we still have a shot at this. But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end. So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that, then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well good, then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Makuro's death and solve the mysteries of this school, then you win. But if you can't do all of that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this has all turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure. So what?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement? You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Makuro is no exception to that. Huh? Makuro's trial is and it's part of the regulations, which would have to mean that whoever killed Makuro... It's a very polarizing approach, I know, But okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
Listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why'd he go all quiet all of a sudden? I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would ya? Why so mad? He seems emotionally unstable. Leave me alone. Get out of here. I am going. You really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment. Overflowing with despair.
Hey.
Come on, Makoto. Let's go. Alright. That's a lot of p-h-h-h-hs. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you. Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
So...
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
Because...
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let their guard down. So when was it that the mastermind let their guard down?
So...
Wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school out to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
Listen.
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, what kind of thing is extremely difficult to... That kind of thing is extremely difficult. Yeah. And yet, somehow, the mastermind was able to do it. But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason?
So...
They had to show that the world... They had to show the world something, no matter the cost, us killing each other. They wanted to show the world. The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
In other words...
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other, and show that off to the world. But why?
Correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey.
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
That's right.
And for those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair, the mastermind wants the world to see that, to try to prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal, as the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right. It is ridiculous. Completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group, whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it must make you, and yet... That same motivation is what led to the Mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
In other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world, the Mastermind has to be more had to be more particular and is reasonable about their own regulations. If the Mastermind simply ignored those rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very least,
That's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the Mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves?
indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished, but in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be a killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the Mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the Mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the Mastermind harm to have it shown that they'd violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the Mastermind to accept your challenge?
however,
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got the chance because you believed in me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the Mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet.
Whew.
But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd showed my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However,
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
correct.
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the Mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There is no option except to win.
Hey,
But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the Mastermind. Work together with everyone.
however,
Is that really possible? Huh?
anyway,
Right now we have to go find the
Shall we go?
others. They're probably in the dorm somewhere, shall we go? You already said, shall we go? Bum, bum, bum. Okay, it does not show me where everyone is. They're probably in the dining hall. And suddenly we were greeted with you again. Is he broken?
whew,
I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. Jeez, what the heck?
however,
I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't let out help but let out a sigh of relief.
Is that Makoto?
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
It's me!
You survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
No one is a ghost. Everyone was there. All my friends who had struggled together and survived. And as soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up. Aw, what a little bitch.
What?
What's that smell?
What the heck?
Yeah, man, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog. Get away. Shoot. Shoot. And in a flash, my tears dried up.
Makoto.
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain? Explain what? Is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial. Last class trial?
In other words,
We're going to redo Makuro's trial.
Huh?
What? Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it, like I keep telling you.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer, and of course, it's not me or any of you. Then, who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is it was all the work of the mastermind. What? You're saying the mastermind killed Makuro?
That's right.
It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to do to stop it. But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did you say?
You spotted the trap, did you, Makoto? You make it sound like it was easy, I just, you know.
However,
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time. And the mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you?
correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the mastermind that's ensnared, that's what you were referring to.
Don't be mean.
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again later. So knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Makuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind? But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school. Every last mystery? But we've been looking around all this time, and we still don't know anything, right?
Anyway,
You've probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies. Everyone? Hey, who said you could agree to all those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with things the way things are. I'm fine living here forever with Master. I mean, we want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible. Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth. In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say.
But
Figuring out who the mastermind is and how they killed Makuro and all the school's mystery. It's a pretty tall friggin' order. Maybe, but this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we can all solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh?
I
Can't agree. You can't agree, why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries. That's what I thought too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay. 16 participants, so yeah, he's just rehashing the fact that it's a student that did it.
I see.
Monokuma said that, did he? And Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. But
So
why?
in other words,
The mastermind really is the one who killed Makuro, as Kyoko says. And the mastermind would have had to set foot in the school, right? Monokuma probably could murder Makuro. There's no way he could have disguised the scene like
in
that.
other words,
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. Then the mastermind is... There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add in Makuro, and you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them?
That's right.
And of those 16 people we started out with, they're the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue, or do you get it now? You're saying the mastermind is one of us?
No way!
You can't be serious. Wait, we can't say for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said all that to confuse us. It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. That is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair. So they must be a high scorer. You can't say it's not possible. Whoop. But if one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active?
Well,
Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret.
but
I don't care how sneaky you are, we would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
I'm right, right?
Then maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Well, maybe, but still.
This is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode. So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school. Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
In the name of my family.
At this point, I can only rely on myself, on the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility. Well then. After making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. Master, he didn't take me with him. Do you blame him? Without Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream, or coffee. You're totally useless. So, bye! With that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall. And now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko?
Indeed.
That's right. But just leave Makoto, Hina, and me.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
just a second.
Wait, how come?
How about that?
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit powder to figure out the mastermind's identity. Laughing adly, Hira left the dining hall. Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves? What about you, Hina? I guess I'll do the same thing.
But,
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know? But up until now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died. Makoto? That's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've been mostly totally useless.
okay.
So if I figure at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us all get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two. So, you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko?
However,
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're gonna do our searches separately doesn't mean we still can't work together.
so
That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I just see it as us splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
so then,
Well, I'd better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
correct.
Monokuma said all the doors in the school had been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before. No matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary. And with that, Kyoko was gone. Being only me, I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. Still, I can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of the school. And then we can all escape together. Let's do it! I guess I'll start by taking another look at Mukuro's Monokuma file. The explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They'd also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Several days old? Really? Once we find out who killed Mukuro Ikasaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So where should I start my guessing to figure out who killed her? I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up. No, Headmaster's room, the bio center, and the door in the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? And after that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder. Which means the garden and the dojo. Alright, time to get started. Pieces check. So let's start with the second floor then. Wrong button. There's the pool. Oop. Where are the second floor dorms? Well, let's just start with the data center then.
Hey, Makoto.
Are you here to look around too? Duh. Is that what you're doing here? Yeah, I can't help but wonder about that Monokuma door. So I figured, if all the doors in the school had been unlocked, that one should be open too, right? Although, I couldn't bring myself to open it.
I mean,
It might explode, right? And that'd really suck. So you open it. I'm sure she didn't mean it, but she made it sound like she was okay with me getting blown up. That's not the door. Okay, so I guess I'll open it. Wait, let me take cover first. I don't want to get exploded. Really? Hina raced over to a nearby desk and hid underneath it. Alright, go ahead. Everything will be okay, right? There was nothing. I threw all my weight into it, but the door opened much easier than I expected. There was no explosion, thankfully. My first impression was... Whoa, this place is totally sci-fi. Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Well, looks like where they control Monokuma. What is this device? Looks like some kind of control panel. No shit. It's really over the top though, like some kind of military installation or something. Yeah, it kind of looks like a mech cockpit, right? Mifu would be probably freak out if he saw it. Cockpit? So the Monokuma room has a control panel, but it looks like some kind of cockpit. Then could that mean...
Okay.
Alright, let's start poking at it or whatever. I'm gonna start pushing buttons. Hold on, you can't just whatever something like this. But it was too late. Hina was already jabbing away at the control panel. Did you hear that? Yeah, I think it came from the other room. Hina, what did you push? I'm not totally sure, but I think it was that one. The button that says Data Center. Data Center. I took a good look at the control panel. I saw a bunch of buttons, each with the name of a room next to it. Just like that, Hina said there was one labeled Data Center. That must be the one she pushed, but the Data Center, that's right next door. The room we were just in, that's where the strange noise came from. I probably better go check it out.
Yeah.
Yes, please. I'm kind of scared out of my mind right now, so I'll just cheer you on from over here. Hello? Did I just hear what I think I heard? Monokuma! Is that Monokuma? Hey! Give me all your donuts. Is that you, Hina? What? Aw, man, busted. How'd you know? Anyway, what is this? Some kind of remote control camera kind of setup? You don't even know what you're controlling? Well, I mean, I can't really see anything from in here.
Found it.
Ah, guess what I found? A self-destruct button. Whatever you do, don't push it.
Too bad.
Aw, man. Were you seriously gonna push it? Anyway, I guess that settles it. The room with the Monokuma drawing on it and the control panel inside. Control Monokuma. Whoa, hey Makoto, what the heck was that just now? Monokuma. What do you mean? What you were controlling just now, it was Monokuma. Monokuma? What, for real? Yep, it looks like that panel definitely controls Monokuma. Which means the Mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. Yeah, they were definitely in here. The Mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. And this control room is totally separate from the data center area with all the monitors. In other words...
Hey,
Kyoko Siri was right.
But
The Mastermind's been controlling Monokuma from here. That means they've been inside the school this whole time, right? I guess that would have to be true. But if that is true... we already saw this part. This is like the second time they played it too. Then the Mastermind Monokuma's puppeteer really is the 16th student. No, it can't be. There's no way, right? What's wrong, Makoto? I don't like that face you're making. Oh, it's nothing. Alright. What about you? Is everything okay?
I mean,
Oh, well, it's just... This is where the Mastermind's been hiding, right? Who knows if they set up traps or something. I can't say it isn't possible, but I really hope it's not true. So, like, you want to leave soon? There's still lots of other places to check out. Yeah, good point. We can't waste all our time while standing around here. Okay, you want to get going? Yeah. But first... What's wrong, Makoto? Let's hurry up and get out of here. Click! As soon as the door to the data center was closed, I heard a strange sound. What was that? It just locked on its own! Alright, so we only get one chance. My hand shot out to grab the doorknob. Rattle, rattle. You're right, it's locked. But why? Of course it's locked, because the data center is now restricted. Monokuma?
Just a second.
Hey, no fair, you can't just go around restricting whatever you feel like.
Hey,
It's for your benefit, because if that room stays open, I won't be able to move around. Imagine how depressed everyone would get if the school mascot just up and stopped moving. Then, that room,
yep.
as you may have guessed, that's where my controls are. So right now you're being operated by someone in that room.
Yes, indeed.
Correctamundo, and I'm sure they came in through the trap door on the bottom.
You're a liar.
But that doesn't make any sense. We were just in there. We didn't see anyone. Oh, you didn't, did you? Are you sure you were as thorough as you could have been? Did you happen to check a certain suspicious hatch? No way! The hatch on the floor? Too bad. That was your one big chance and you blew it.
Too bad.
Of course, that hatch can't be opened from the outside anyway, so whatever. Now then, this room is officially restricted, so no more investigating. I'll be relying on you guys to tell the others. Peace! He's gone, but... Was he telling the truth? The mastermind was hiding in there? In fact, if you think back to when we got locked out of the control room, that proves it for sure.
Huh?
Then, when I said we should leave... Well, that hatch couldn't be opened from the outside anyway, right? So it's not your fault.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, we don't have to let it get to us. We have to stay positive and make sure the most of what we have left. You're right. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's keeping my body moving. Alright, I'm gonna run around and tell everyone what we found here. Nice, you got me all motivated again. I'm out. See you later. Hina took off at full sprint. And I have to do what I can do too. It's the only way forward. This is the headmaster's room. I've heard an awful lot about it, but this will be my first time seeing it for myself. Ah, Makoto, it's you. Well, Byakuya. I guess we'll start at the floor. There are documents scattered all over the floor. Somehow it makes me feel anxious.
Come on.
Hey, Makoto.
Possible.
Are you ignoring me? You think I'll forget that just because you're you?
Such
When we get out of here, remember this moment. Oh my god, dude. Well, you came to the right place this time. Would you like to see something interesting? Almost always. What do you mean by something interesting? Take a look at this. It was on the top of that pathetically ostentatious desk. Class 78 Student Registry. Contains profiles for all of us and Makuro.
So, in other words...
Apparently, Class 78 refers to us. Wait, when we found Makuro's profile in Kyoko's room...
I see.
That's right. It also mentioned Class 78. This must be where Kyoko got that page. And since the rest of our profiles are listed here along with hers,
In other words...
there can be no doubt Makuro was a student here at Hope's Peak Academy just like the rest of us. Makuro Ikasaba, the 16th student. That must be how Kyoko learned about it. But it seems that Kyoko was in a hurry. What do you mean? Talking about when she stole it. The uneven tearing, the way the paper had been crumpled, she must have been in a hurry. Well, since she snuck in to get it, I'm sure she wanted to get out as fast as possible. But what's your point? She was in so much of a hurry that she only got the first page. The first page? Correct. Makuro's profile actually contains 2 pages. What?
So, in other words...
When it comes to this profile, there was more information about Makuro that we still didn't have. What kind of information is it? Why do you ask me to explain every little thing? You can read, can't you? This seems to be some sort of detailed report put together by the headmaster himself. I don't know what kind of man he was, but I'm glad he left us such an interesting clue. I was half listening to Byakuya as I skimmed through the report. Kuro reappeared suddenly, and in the background, an entity floats close but just out of reach. The entity known as the Ultimate Despair. Right now, I can't be sure if this is a single person or some kind of group. Whatever it is, Makuro definitely has some sort of connection to it. I have a bad feeling about all this. I need to push forward with my research into the Ultimate Despair. And I need to pay attention to Makuro's behavior, too. This is just my gut feeling, but I think she's dangerous. Despite the countless battles that she must have gone through as a member of Fenrir, when she entered Hope's Peak, she didn't display any signs of battle wounds or scars. That fact alone proves her tremendous skill in battle. Naturally, I want to believe in her. She's one of my students after all. But if I decide she's a danger to the other students, I will be forced to take all reasonable measures. Makuro was a part of the Ultimate Despair? I don't think there can be any doubt about it now. But wouldn't that mean Makuro and the Mastermind were allies? So why would they kill Makuro? Thus, even the headmaster seemed to be afraid of what Makuro was capable of. They wouldn't have had to take her completely by surprise to kill her like that. Or maybe it means the Mastermind is even stronger than Makuro was.
What?
What's wrong, Makoto? Huh?
That's fine.
You seem to be lost in thought, but I should probably point out one other thing. There's another important bit of information within that file you should know. What is it? Did you notice the picture in there? A picture of a girl perhaps you'd never seen before? A girl who seems to be included as part of our class 78. That should be enough for you to figure out who the girl is. And further information about that girl is included in the file. 5 foot 7 inches, 97 pounds, and it even lists her vitals. 31, 22, 32. Well, what do you think? What I think? Are you asking me, like, if she has a nice body?
Stop talking.
You hopeless idiot. What I'm trying to tell you is maybe you'll want to keep that in mind later. Maybe you'll make your way back to the corpse and maybe you'll think, oh, could that mean... Wait, is he trying to say... the chance the body isn't actually Makuro? Is that what he's saying? Personally, what I'm thinking seems all but impossible, but it wouldn't hurt to confirm, right?
It's all clear now.
That's all I was trying to say. What you do with that information is your business. So I'm back to being Byakuya's errand boy. Oh, and one last thing. It's a bit of advice from me to you, so just you pay attention. Advice for me? You seem to be getting along with Kyoko quite well. It's not that we're getting along, she's just done a lot to help me. Well, don't put too much faith in her.
In other words,
The cost of that faith might be more than you can afford. What are you saying? Just what I think. Call it a hunch. A hunch. But hunches tend to be proven right. The advice is free this time. Take it or don't, as you will. I'll keep it in mind. Thanks. There's a student registry. This profiles on me and everyone at the beginning of Makuro. Just like us, Makuro was apparently a new student here at Hope's Peak. Makuro Ikasaba, part of the Ultimate Despair. Which means her and the Mastermind should have been allies. Why would the Mastermind kill her? Weren't they... I think friends is probably taking it a little far. There are trophies and even a shield in the display case. So I'm done here is what you're saying. The bookshelf seems really well made and it's filled with... They said there was one other place I needed to check out here. I think it's over here. Yes. The gate's open. We can finally check out the second floor of the dorms, which means I have to do it. Yes. You. Whoa, what the fuck? This is the second floor of the dorms? Looks like some ancient ruins. Or no, it's more like a battlefield, like a bomb blew up here or something. Whoop. Bed is completely torn apart. I mean, it's not really a bed anymore, it's just garbage. Opened the door, just a crack, glanced inside, and immediately closed again. There wasn't even a hint of a bathroom, just a big pile of rubble. Not much worth checking out here is what they're saying. Wrong way. It seems like there's a room back here. Appears to be a locker room of some sort. The room is filled with lockers. Must have been for the Hope Speak students who came before us. The class before ours must have used these lockers. Whoa, alright. Some of them are sealed off. I really want to know what's inside, but there's no way. Can't imagine any way to get this locker open. I'm not even going to bother trying. Wonder if I can open this locker. Rattle, rattle. Oops, locked. There's a card reader installed on the door. That must how you get the locker open. After all, it's pretty similar to the card readers on the locker rooms on the second floor for the school. You have to use... Does that mean... Just give it a try. I took it out my handbook and ran it across the card reader. And then... No luck. Maybe only the locker's owner can open it, which means none of us can do it. Nothing. Alright. Okay, I was trying to do the empty one, but the open one, but guess that's not in the plans. Try over here. It probably would have told me if there was more to check out. Whoa. This room doesn't really feel like a student's room. It has a more adult atmosphere.
Correct.
It's the headmaster's private room. Kyoko.
Indeed.
I've been through this room several times already, but I still have one little regret. So I decided to check it out one more time. A regret? Kyoko looks almost meek right now. She must be thinking about something. I probably shouldn't bother her. Alright. Let's start with the computer. There's a PC on the desk. It must belong to the headmaster.
It would seem...
Whoever used this last, it looks like they were very interested in the ultimate despair. The PC still has some research results left. And we might be able to get some info on the ultimate despair?
However,
There's not much, though. Nothing we don't already know.
in other words,
The ultimate despair isn't one individual, but instead points to some kind of group. That group is responsible for the tragedy which happened 1 year ago. They're the worst sorts of people whose driving force comes from despair,
however,
and And that's all there is. Not much to it, is there? But I guess that's the best he could complete as a Kirigiri failure. But any information about the mastermind is helpful, right? Appreciate whatever info we can get our hands on. I see. That's a good outlook to have. Huh? There's a strange gap in the wall. Is this some kind of design mistake or construction defect? Or obviously it's a door.
So...
There's a gap here, but not just any normal gap. I can feel a breeze coming out. A breeze? There's likely an open space on the other side of this wall. Open space? Does that mean like a hidden room? I think I might know how to open it. You know how to open it? Did you figure out some kind of trick or something?
Indeed.
Very easy trick, yes, so I'm not sure you can even call it a trick. I saw a program on the PC that I think controls it. Enter the correct password and the door should open right up. But I don't have a clue of what that password might be. All I know is it's probably made up of letters and or numbers. Can't really go from there. Alright, that's not nearly long enough to go on. I looked through all his paperwork, all the files on the PC, everything I could think of. I learned more about him than I had any desire to, but nothing that might have been his password. When I think of how much time I wasted on this... Jeez. So there's a hidden room she didn't get into. That's what she meant by regret. I think we can assume that there must be some kind of clue waiting in there. But maybe for her, there's more to it than that. Anyway, if we want to get in there, we need to figure out the password. And if Kyoko can't figure it out, there's no way I stand a chance. No, wait. There might be a chance. The password could be something Kyoko couldn't have thought of, or something she didn't want to think of. For example, what about your name?
What?
Huh? Oh, sorry. I was trying to think of what the password might be. I'm sure she hasn't tried it. I mean, it's totally understandable. After the way she talked about her dad, the idea that he would use her name as his password. Knowing how she is, I bet the idea never even occurred to her. Do you mind if I try it, just to be sure?
Well...
It's not like you need my permission. If you want to try it, try it. Do whatever you want. Okay. You know, I'm glad I thought of trying Kyoko's name. But that's not it. That might just hurt Kyoko even more.
Hey.
If you're worried about me, Makoto, don't be. I already know what your guess is wrong. Okay. In that case, here goes nothing. I collected myself, then turned to face the computer monitor. Let me just type the password here. I typed in her full name, Kyoko Kirigiri. My hands were tense, slightly trembling, and as I finished typing it in, it opened. What? That did it! Kyoko, it worked!
Why?
Kyoko? Without looking at me, she disappeared into the hidden room. She looked grim. Kyoko. Hey, Kyoko? I may as well not have been in the room. Her gaze was fixed on only one thing. A present, wrapped and covered with such joy, that's what made it so unusual. There's a brightly colored box here. It seems totally out of place. The more I look at it, the more suspicious I get. Should we open it? I'm getting kind of a bad vibe from it. But I mean, we can't not open it. Okay.
Makoto.
Be careful, Makoto. Why? You think it's dangerous? No, not dangerous. But surprising, probably. Huh?
It would seem...
If it is what I think it is, at the very least, it's not something you'll be happy to see. Wait, so you know what's in there?
Anyway...
Just don't scream or anything, okay? Are you saying it's something that'll make me want to scream? Okay, I'm just gonna open it. Step by heavy step, I approached the box. I took a deep breath, then took hold of the lid. Ever so slowly, I lifted it up. Light began to sneak its way into the box. I stole a hesitant glance inside and... She said not to scream, man. Come on. Kyoko's advice was no use. I let out a trembling cry. What was in the box? It was bones. Human bones. It was the last thing I expected to find in such a bright, joyful box. I mean, who could have possibly imagined?
I see.
Just as I thought. Well, just as you thought? How could you have known that? I mean, there were bones in there. Human bones. Well, it's not I was thinking of the bones specifically. I just had a feeling it would be his body. That's pretty much the same thing. A dead guy in a box. My father. What about him?
Correct.
What you found in the box. Those bones. That body. That's my father. Or at least, what's left of him. Are you serious? This is Kyoko's dad? The same man she's been searching for? Hold on, how can we know that for sure? How do you know that's him?
So,
Given all the information we have already, that's the only possible answer. So that same person may very well... Because no one else has come in or left the school. Alter Ego said that the headmaster was probably here in the school, but the only ones who were alive at the start of the killing game were us 16 students. When you put those two ideas together, it doesn't take much to assume that most likely my father was in the school, but he was also dead. That's my assumption anyway. As Kyoko explained her analysis, she was completely calm. Or no, she wasn't calm. She was only trying to seem calm. She said it was just as she thought, so she knew it was a possibility. But I have to believe that at some point she wanted to be proven wrong. That's why she never looked in the box herself, even though she had plenty of chances. I know Kyoko said she wanted to see her father so she could cut off all ties. But was that all there was to it? Would she really give up her pride just for that? I couldn't help but wonder. The headmaster's desk. It's probably hiding some kind of clue, so I really want to check it out, but I really don't want to touch Kyoko's dad's desk without her permission.
hey,
Don't worry about me. Feel free to look around as much as you like.
because...
You sure? Never let anything get in the way of the investigation. I don't. Okay then, if you don't mind. Starting from the top, I opened all the desk drawers and looked inside. I rummaged through each one, finding nothing but unrelated documents. But in the last drawer... What is this? It's an e-handbook. Case of emergency. Found some kind of emergency handbook in the headmaster desk.
In other words...
A handbook with no limitations given to the school's ultimate authority, the headmaster. I'm assuming that's what that is. I think you're probably right. It might prove useful as we continue our investigation. Why don't you hold on to it? Huh? But, Kyoko, I don't need it. If you don't want it, go ahead and leave it here. And I guess I'll take it. Is it really okay? This filing cabinet seems like the place you'd find a clue. I should take a closer look. Oh my god, dude, she doesn't care.
Hey.
It's fine. Check whatever you want. Are you sure? Okay then. I went through each drawer one by one, starting from the top, but all I found were piles and piles of unrelated documents. He was pretty dedicated to his job, huh?
Well?
Just because he didn't have anything else. He could have inherited our family business, our legacy. Instead, he left it all behind.
Now,
if he couldn't even handle a job like this, he would have been that much more of a failure. I made sure he couldn't stand the thought of that, and it made him desperate. Huh? This picture. It's all faded. It must be pretty old. Wait, is that a picture of... Hey, Kyoko.
why would you...
Well, this is annoying. I came here to cut myself free of the past. And yet... to now find something like this. So what do you expect me to do now? Then I was right. It's a picture of Kyoko when she was a little girl. Knowing the headmaster had this picture all this time, he must have really cared about her.
Why?
Why? What? I wanted to face him and tell him myself to cut him out of my life for abandoning me. It's the whole reason I came here. And now he's abandoned me again. And this time he even stole the only opportunity I had to move on. Has there ever been a worse father? Kyoko.
Hey.
Listen, Makoto. Can I ask you a favor? Favor, what is it?
So...
I know it's completely unreasonable to ask you this, and I know it'll only inconvenience you that much more, but... Could you leave?
Correct.
Just for a little while. I'd just like to be alone for a bit. Kyoko, don't worry, I'm fine. I just need to calm down a little. I need to get my emotions in order. You know, Kyoko, you told me before about the relationship you had with your dad. How you're only connected by blood, not by heart and soul. But maybe that picture motivated him. Maybe he hoped to meet me again someday. Is that what you were going to say? If so, it's just a theory. And this isn't an issue that can be settled with theories. That picture doesn't change the facts of what happened, what I went through. That problem can't be solved so easily. You're right. Sorry.
Anyway.
Once I've got myself under control, I'll return to the investigation immediately. So please, just give me some time to myself. Okay, I understand. Then, I'll see you later. Is she really okay? Kyoko must have been a complete shock to her. I mean, it was a shock to me. To find out what happened to the headmaster? There's no doubt the mastermind performed that evil deed. They killed the headmaster, killed Kyoko's father. They killed him. The headmaster is dead. But we were wrong about that. The headmaster wasn't the mastermind, which means the mastermind's true identity is... 15 of us met in the mail hall. Add Mercuro to the mix and you get 16. And including me, only 6 of us are still alive. Everyone else was dead. Even Mercuro. Even she's undeniably dead. Well, I don't know about undeniably. So the ones still left alive are... me. Yakua. Hiro. Toko. Hina. And Kyoko. Only those 6 people are still alive. Then there's no question... Wait, no, that can't be. I refuse to believe it. There has to be some other way. There just has to be. Ooh, my back. Well, I think that's all in here. But that does give me an idea. Okay, so I can't use the other handbook. Okay, yes I can. Locker is totally disorganized. Whoever it belongs to probably has organization problems in every part of their life. Crystal ball? Like Hiro would have. There's no way he ever uses locker, it's just not possible. There's all kinds of textbooks and notebooks stacked up in no particular order, and dust everywhere. I have to assume whoever's stuff this is didn't do a lot of studying. Not that I can really talk. Trying to act as casual and natural as possible, I picked up one of the notebooks I saw. But the moment I looked inside the notebook, any sense of easiness I may have had evaporated. Yasuhiro. What? There was no denying what I saw. Inside the notebook was written Yasuhiro Higakure. Is this our Yasuhiro? The notebook also contained a large number of notes from a variety of different classes, which would mean he attended classes here? No, that can't be possible. I mean, Hiro came to the school at the same time as the rest of us. We were all sucked into into this evil world, but we never had the chance to take any classes. So, what is this notebook? Oops, that's just a coincidence, right? Alright, there's only 3 there. Let's try this one. Alright, I'm gonna assume more. I feel like I've gotten all of them though. Alright. Practically empty, but what is this? There's just one thing, some kind of pocketbook. I don't see a name written on it, so I can't say for sure whose it is. But there's some writing inside, it could be important. I don't like violating the owner's privacy, but I'd better take a look. Looks like a girl's handwriting, and all the letters are spaced out evenly. Like whoever wrote them was measuring them. Whoever wrote this must have been really meticulous. Huh? I was flipping through the pocketbook, but my hand froze when I got to a certain page. I saw something familiar written there, words I'd heard before. There's a plan to turn Hope's Peak into a shelter and isolate the students here in a communal life. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. Just so happens to be the headmaster and my father. He was wanting to give me some more details regarding the plan. Here's what he said. The point is to keep our student prodigies safe, to keep them as our hope for the future. Only their genius can overcome disaster, and only their hope can overcome despair. For the future of our country, our world, it's not an exaggeration to call this our final hope. We must isolate our superior youth from the corrupted world to serve as the foundation for a new era. This is the only hope we have. I hope that you'll be willing to go along with this plan. So that's what my father had to say for me. As usual, he made a selfish decision without consulting anyone else. I can't imagine a worse father. This can't be true, can it? But I knew it was, and I knew exactly who the pocketbook belonged to. Kyoko. It couldn't be anyone else. But if this belonged to Kyoko, what was it doing in this locker? And what she wrote here completely contradicts what she already told me. She said she hasn't seen her dad since he left when she was little. What does this all mean? I quickly scanned the remaining pages of the notebook. I must have been looking for something that would prove me wrong about this whole thing. But when I reached the last page, question marks spinning through my mind just started spinning that much faster. When I looked at it, unlike the rest of the pocketbook, the writing here was messy, disorganized, scrawled. Spare walks among us. What What is this? What does it mean? I have no idea. How could this possibly make any sense? So I think what we can take from that is there's two members of the Ultimate Despair here. But the more I see, the less it makes sense, because these lockers, I mean, they had to belong to the previous students, right? So why am I seeing this? Why are there things in the lockers that look like they belong to people here? A notebook that seems like it belongs to Hiro, and a pocketbook that seems to like it belongs to Kyoko. There has to be some kind of explanation, but if I want to find that out, I have to keep moving the investigation forward. I have to believe in everyone. Alright, I think that's all I'm gonna get from here. That leaves the biolab. Well, here I am in the biolab. That looks like where you keep corpses. It's so cold. It's like abnormally cold. I feel like I'm in a giant refrigerator. Seriously, why is it so cold? Gee, I wonder what's in here. There's some kind of weird machine or something built into the wall. On the left side, there's a bunch of glowing blue lights, but on the other side... there's some... I've seen this kind of thing in horror movies and stuff. It's a fridge for storing dead bodies. Does that mean the biolab is actually a morgue? I should probably take a closer look around. Oh, there's some kind of booklet here. It's like an instruction manual. We offer an eco-friendly alternative to standard dry ice for all your cadaver needs. In addition to the germicidal lamps, we also provide an ozone generator for the removal of ethylene gas. Simply insert the cadaver and the blue light will let you know the automated systems have activated. Temperature and humidity levels will be adjusted automatically for optimum settings. With our system, anyone can keep your body fresh as a daisy for as long as you need. In the unlikely event of a problem, the red light will activate and an alarm will sound immediately. The exterior is stainless steel, and we do offer optional leather upholstery upgrade package. This is the instruction manual for the fridge. I'll do it again. The one right hand. Looking around, I think I get it. Seems clear to me now. It was a makeshift morgue. About those lights by each slot. Looks like it's set up so when a slot is occupied, the blue light comes on. Which would mean inside each slot lit up blue, another one of the victims is... Can't let my emotions take control right now. There's only one thing I can do for everyone who's died. And that's defeat the mastermind. Do that, I have to continue my investigation. Don't have any other option. And there's 7 unoccupied things. A stack of tarps here. I've been seeing a lot of these things lately. I guess that's all I needed from there. Alright, let's go to the garden. The body's gone. It's not here? Maybe the body's inside the tool shed, and I'd better check just to be sure. Didn't find anything even close to a dead body, but it's not in here either. It must be... Could it be in the biolab? That's another thing. That tarp. If I look into it. That's not the tarp! Killer used the tarp to keep the sprinklers from getting the body wet, which means the killer might have left some clue behind. It's definitely from the biolab. Then this originally came from the biolab? Tarp has been added to the Drew's Toilet section of your handbook. Alright. That's all I really need to check here. Alright. And then the dojo. Oh, Toko, so this is where you were. I'm so disgusting you want me out of your sight? No, that's not it at all. I just thought you maybe found a clue. Yeah. Come on, man. Well, I haven't. Didn't find anything, not one single clue. I figured this place was related to the case. It could have had something, right? There wasn't anything out of the ordinary here. Give me back my precious time. Calm down, Toko.
What's your problem?
Don't tell me to calm down. Cray-cray in the membrane. You have any idea what I'm going through right now? When everyone finds out, they're gonna call me useless, good for nothing. Nobody is gonna say that. Master will. Well, he's a dick, so maybe leave him alone. Not sure I can disagree with that. I don't want you always being looked down on. Why won't anyone accept me? Because you got another personality that kills people? I don't think there are any clues here. Maybe I want to get going. Doesn't hit to check though. There's a bunch of wooden lockers here. I guess I don't have to. And there it is.
This is a school announcement. Is everyone working hard? Is your investigation coming along nicely?
I mean, as well as it can.
Well then, since you're all giving it your best, your generous headmaster will give
it's
you
not time.
a little hint. For those of you who are interested, please make your way to the gym ASA possible.
What? Now he wants to give us a hint? It's suspicious, there's no doubt about that. This could be a trap, but even knowing that, he said to go to the gym, right? Oh, hey, hero. Makoto? Why'd you act so surprised? No reason. You heard Monokuma's announcement, right? Are you here to find out what he has to say? I just did, actually. I'm on my way out. You already talked to him? What did he say? Listen, sorry, but I gotta go. Hero, wait! There was no point in trying to stop him. He ran off like a frightened animal. Hero? It's like he was trying to avoid me. I was hoping to talk to him about the notebook I found in the locker. Has he been hiding something this whole time? Just me. Alright. Hey, what do you want, Monokuma? Hello, welcome, hello. Are you ready for your final hint? Well, it just so happens to be in the envelope on the ground in front of you. The envelope? With my name on it. This must be the envelope. And just so you know, I won't be answering any questions about what you find inside. What? Don't worry, just get on with it. Monokuma's cryptic words didn't make me feel any better, but I picked up the envelope and opened it. What I found was a single photograph. It featured a bunch of faces I recognized extremely well. It was everyone who'd come to Hope's Peak at the same time as me. Wait, but there's someone behind Sayaka. She's the only one I don't recognize. It's not true, I do recognize her. That's right, when Byakuya and I were in the headmaster's room and we looked at that file, Makuro Ikesaba. And this girl is the ultimate soldier. What? Why? Why is Makuro here with everyone else? And even more than that, just having everyone pose like this is weird enough by itself. We're all wearing matching uniforms. I don't remember anything like this. You're not in the picture, bud. And now that I'm looking at it, it's not even everyone. I'm not in the picture. I'm the only one not there. The picture has all 15 other students, but not me. But I guess that makes sense. After all, I don't remember ever taking a picture like this. I went to junior high with Sayaka, but the first time I met everyone else was when I arrived here at Hope's Peak Academy. So it's natural for me not to be in this picture, but what's definitely unnatural, that everyone else is in the picture. I thought everyone was like me and they didn't know each other until they got here. But if this picture is real, then could that mean... could it be everyone else and just me? Everyone else here except me is... How am I gonna keep up this rambling soliloquy of yours, Hamlet?
What are you gonna do?
You're kinda getting in the way of standing there, you know? So I mean, get out. But I told you I'm not fielding any questions. What kind of mystery would this be if I gave you all the answers? That'd be totally out of left field. Oh, he got angry again. I guess that means he's done talking. Damn it. So in the end, all I found in the gym was even more confusion. And with that confusion in hand, I left the gym dejected. How does that count as a hint? It just made me even more confused. Is that what Monokuma was going for? I'm thinking it's because a certain someone was blocked out in that picture. Did he put together a fake photo just to confuse me? But it looks so real, so full of life. How could anyone fake that? Which would mean everyone but me. Maybe I should just ask everyone directly. That should clear all this up. No, I have to clear all this up. We're just gonna go to the dining hall right now, or... Looks like... There's Hina. So this is where you've been hiding. Listen, I was hoping to talk to you. Makoto? Sorry. What? She ran off so fast I didn't even have time to ask her to stop. Hina, why? Why won't you talk to me? Oh, Byakuya. Listen, do you think we could talk? Byakuya?
That's enough.
I have nothing to talk to you about. Usually you always have something to say. Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Hey, Byakuya, wait. But of course, he didn't. He just walked away. What the? Why was he acting like that? Like he was purposely trying to avoid me. Hey, Hero. You definitely got some explaining to do. Hey, Hero. What? Makoto. What's going on with you? Every time I see you, you freak out like that. No, No. Sorry, but I'm in a big hurry. Once again, he ran off like a terrified rabbit. Hero, what's wrong? Still wasn't able to talk to him about the notebook I found. It was like he was avoiding me. Like he was afraid of me. Hifumi did have his camera trained on someone. Why? And someone had to have taken that picture. I decided to visit the biolab one more time, and the first thing I saw when I got there was her passed out again. Toko. Which means Jill. Oh. It's open. Oh, but Toko. Okay, fine, I'll check on her. Say that like I'm gonna wake her up and Jill's not gonna pop out. Toko, are you okay? No, she's not dead, is she? Yep, there she is. It's cold, it's super cold. I think I might catch a cold. If you keep taking naps in places like this, I'm sure you will. What, I was asleep? Oh, I must have fainted again. I bet you were standing there staring at me getting all excited, weren't you? Fuck off, Jill. No, I wasn't. Oh, then what? Hot and bothered? Straight. Alright, why did you pass out? I don't know, last thing I remember was me waking up just now. What did you do to Miss Morose? Oh, that's right. Your memory stops and starts each time you switch. Bingo bazinga. We share some basic knowledge, but our memories are very much separate. And don't say it like it's a bad thing, it's just a blessing as far as I'm concerned. Because even if she forgets something, I totally remember. So it's like the double memory. It's like double the memory. Yeah. It's more like half. It feels like an unnecessary thing to add, because that's how it's been the whole game. Or, you know, as soon as it was revealed. Well, all I want to know right now is where's my little darling? Tell me, or I'll slit your throat. I don't know, I'm not sure. Byakuya was around somewhere doing his own investigating.
Yes.
By himself? I assume so. I'm a total pro when it comes to all things master. Gross. Anyway, I gotta hurry. I can't even imagine how lonely he must be right now. Alright, well, Toko shot off, her eerie laughter echoing behind her. Totally forgot to ask her about the picture. Well, there's no point in asking Genocide Jack anyway. I feel like there's some point. She might know something. Besides, I have more important things to do right now. Why did Toko faint? There's gotta be some reason for it. Gee, I wonder what it is. Probably not this. The fridge, it's open. But I'm sure they were all shut tight last time I was here. That must be why she passed out. Oh, right. Hey, here you are. She faints so easily. Kyoko.
Makoto.
It's getting late, isn't it? Isn't it already nighttime? So I'm sure it's past late. Are you okay?
Indeed.
Sorry if I made you worry. You don't have to apologize.
Listen.
But listen, about this room. Oh yeah, it's a morgue. Yeah, gathered. I've seen a morgue before. I suspected as much, and Toko must have looked inside the fridge, seen what was in, and, well, yeah. You knew she'd fainted?
Indeed.
I was on my way here when Genocide Jack came running past me. I assumed she must have sneezed, but once I got inside, the real reason became clear.
It would seem...
I imagine she came here to investigate, and when she opened the slot there, that's when she saw the body inside and dropped like a bag of rocks. Why has everything got to be so difficult with her?
Anyway...
We should close it up. I don't want to leave it hanging open like that. Yeah, good idea.
Makoto.
Give me a hand with this. Kyoko approached the fridge, hands outstretched. But suddenly, she stopped. What's wrong?
Listen.
Maybe we should wait a second before closing it. How come? Because Murkrow? Inside the fridge? Just like every other time, the Mastermind probably brought it up here while we were in the class trial. The Mastermind did it because they assumed we wouldn't be doing the class trial over again, I guess. You may be right. Either way, now I can finally get a good look at the body. Oh, that's right. Kyoko didn't get a chance to check the body during their last investigation. I need to do my own examination of the corpse as soon as possible. I'm going to find a clue this time, and I'm going to grab the Mastermind by the tail. Okay, so what should I do?
So then...
Why don't you just wait over there? I'll let you know as soon as I'm finished. Just wait over there, that's it. It's a fridge meant for storing dead bodies. Pussy. Like, do I have to wait a certain amount, or... So, if there's 7 lights that are still off... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know who the Mastermind is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lights on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, ask about the photo. Don't let me interrupt your investigation, but I wanted to talk to you about something. What is it? It's about that announcement Monokuma made earlier. You mean the one about the hint or something? I didn't take him up on the offer, which probably explains why she didn't fucking run off. Why not?
Because...
The only reason he'd give us a hint at this point would be confuse us to cloud our judgment. I can solve this mystery on my own, without whatever hints he may have to offer. That's a good point. I wish I could go back and do the same thing, but what's done is done, I guess. Standing here, looking at her, I don't think she's hiding anything from me. Is she right? Did the Mastermind forge that picture as a trap to confuse us? That's gotta be it. There's no other explanation. What else do they want me to look at right now? That Tarb. Stamp that said Biolab. We know this though. That's the heart where I was helped use the murder in the garden. At some point someone got it from the Biolab and took it over there. Alright, okay Makoto, I'm done. Finally. Alrighty. Jeez, that was fast.
Indeed.
Anyone can do good work if they go slow. In fact, in that spirit, I'll make my report brief. You have a tooth problem? So, did you find anything?
Indeed.
I paid careful attention to the wounds and the traces of blood, and it seems highly likely that the stomach wound and blow to the back of the head were inflicted after death. Really? The burnt tissue made things a little difficult, but I'm completely confident in my findings. Ooh, yikes. So that means neither of those were the fatal injury, right? Then what was the fatal injury? Due to the explosion, the victim's identity, they were, however, dead before the blast. Stabs. We all know this. The only other options is those other wounds that the file said they were old.
Is that right?
Where does it say they're old? Huh?
Because...
All the Monokuma file says is that they were inflicted at least several days ago. Guess I don't see the difference.
Wrong.
Well, the difference is immense considering the impression they give.
Listen.
You seem to be equating several days old with simply old.
However...
That doesn't quite follow logically. Old wounds, it makes it sound like they've been there forever. They're like not related to that murder. Are you saying they are? But we got all the Monokuma file right after she was killed. We all got the Monokuma file right after she was killed, right? So if the wounds were at least a few days old, there's no way they could have had anything to do with it.
So then...
What if Merkur herself wasn't killed within the last few days? What?
At the very least...
Certainly you can allow it as one of the many possibilities, can't you? One of many?
Right.
A detective doesn't have supernatural powers. There's no way to predict the answer from the beginning. Instead, the ideal detective begins by imagining as many possible scenarios as they can.
In other words,
They envision these possibilities without prejudice, without bias, using only their logic and common sense. Then, as they investigate, they test what they find against each of these possibilities. Of course, me telling you this doesn't mean you'll be any good at detective work. But beyond using that to solve this particular mystery, you should keep it in mind for the future.
hey,
So if there's anything else you'd like to know about the conditioned body, now's the time. I would like to know everything. Come to think of it, there was one thing. Earlier, when I was looking at Makuro's profile, it listed her height and weight.
so
5 foot 7 inches, 97 pounds. Vitals were 31, 22, 32. I get all that right? Remembered all that? They are indeed consistent with the corpse. So then, and don't forget about the Fenrir tattoo. There's absolutely no mistake.
indeed.
Our victim in this case is without a doubt Makuro Ikasaba.
And
Is that all you wanted to ask? Yeah, I think so.
so then,
It looks like we have no further business with Makuro's body. Let's get going. It's kind of chilly in here. Oh wait, are we not going to put the body back? Don't you think it's kind of sad leaving it out like this?
why?
Sad. Did you forget? She was our enemy once. A part of the ultimate despair. But she still got killed. She's still a victim. Have you ever heard the phrase, you reap what you sow? Well, yeah, but you really are naive, you know that? It's really quite appalling. But she could have abandoned me, but she decided to help me instead. So for someone like that, what does it mean to be naive?
So then,
I think we've done all we can do here. Back to our separate investigations, yes? Well, hold on. I still have one more thing to do. Something I need to talk to Kyoko about. I need to ask her about the pocketbook I found in that locker. If I don't do it now... Oh, I thought something was going to interrupt me. Probably will as soon as I click on her. Hey, Kyoko. I did have one last thing. I know I shouldn't, but I feel like I have to ask. Go ahead then. I will do it. Have you really not seen your dad even once since you got here?
so
What do you mean? Well, you know all those lockers on the second floor of the dorms. I do, yes. But to get into any of the lockers, you need the handbook of whoever the locker belongs to. Actually, I managed to get them open using just that emergency handbook. Yeah? The one you found in the headmaster's hidden room?
and
So, did you find anything worthwhile in the lockers? I found a pocketbook, and after looking through it, I think it must be your pocketbook.
why is that?
What makes you say that?
Because
Like I said, only the locker room's owner should be able to get into it, right? I can't imagine those lockers belong to any of us. After all, we only got access to that area just recently. What I'm saying is there's no way I could have had access to any of those lockers. If I did have a pocketbook, why would I bother putting it in a locker? Everything you just said makes perfect sense, but there was something written inside. It was about the headmaster, your father.
if that's true,
Could that mean that video is real too? Video?
Makoto,
I think everything is finally starting to fit together to reveal a cohesive picture. Although I'm afraid that picture might be worse than anything we could have imagined. What are you talking about? I need to go investigate those lockers right now. I need to confirm what you just said with my own two eyes. Oh, let me give you the headmaster's handbook. That way you can...
so
That won't be necessary. If I'm right about this, I shouldn't have any problem opening the locker with my own handbook. After all, it would seem that it's my locker. Your locker?
Makoto,
If you watch this, it'll all make sense. A DVD? It says Class 78 Urgent Interviews. I found it in that hidden room after you left. I don't have to explain exactly what I think it means, so just watch and see for yourself. I think you'll realize exactly what it means. You'll understand why you found my pocketbook in a place none of us have ever seen before. None of this makes any sense right now. But I guess that means there's some important clue on this DVD.
Makoto,
Oh, and now it's my turn. Do you have a second to listen to me ramble?
in other words,
So as it turns out, the arrangements I made didn't stick. What I mean is, I'm less and less sure of everything, even my own feelings. You're talking about your dad, right? I can never find the answers to the questions I wanted to ask for the rest of my life, all because of the mastermind.
However,
But there's one thing I am sure of. When it comes to the mastermind, there's no room in my heart for forgiveness. I swore to destroy the mastermind. This is just one more reason to follow through on that. Kyoko's eyes burned with the fire of determination. The determination to defeat the mastermind. It's strange to be confronted with his death and suddenly feel this way. I couldn't care less if my father had found happiness.
why?
So why does it bother me so much to know how he suffered? It's ridiculous. There's just no understanding it, I guess. She let out a small laugh as she said it, but her smile was filled with sorrow. So that's it for my rambling. There's still much to do before I can consider my task complete. Yeah, you're right.
Hey,
But keep this in mind. There is only ever one absolute truth. Whether that truth serves justice or suffering, whether it's the greatest truth or the worst. What do you mean?
Makoto.
Even if the truth you uncover is filled with hopelessness, you still can't give up hope. Absolutely not, because all I can do is keep moving forward. That's pretty much all I'm good at, you know? Indeed. Sorry if that was strange.
So then,
Anyway, I need to get going. I'll see you at the class trial. Leaving behind the final farewell, Kyoko was gone. I better get going myself. Got that DVD from Kyoko. You should head to the AV room to check it out. Kyoko said something about hopeless truth, but no matter what happens, I won't lose hope. Even if it's the worst truth in the world. I can't afford to lose. Let's check it out. This should be able to play DVDs just fine. Well then, I'd better take a look. I took the DVD Kyoko gave me and put it in the player. It said that it was playing, but nothing appeared on screen. I stared into the black of the monitor. It must have only been a few seconds, but to me it felt like an eternity. And then, all of a sudden, an image appeared. Sayaka. Took me by total surprise. I hadn't seen Sayaka in who knows how long, and there she was.
Are you ready to begin?
The voice I heard was of the man positioned on one side of the screen. It was the voice of a middle-aged
I do
man.
apologize, but I hope you don't mind if I record our conversation. I'm a little slow, you know. I never really got the hang of taking notes while having a conversation.
Sounded like he was trying to make a joke, but Sayaka's tense face didn't move a single millimeter.
This video is meant to serve as a kind of contract substitute. It's not that I don't trust you guys. It's more like insurance. So please don't worry too much. Now then, let me get straight to the point. There is a chance that you may have to spend the rest of your life here in the school.
What?
Can you accept that?
You want me to accept that? Sayaka was obviously at a total loss. It made total sense who would agree to spending the rest of your life in this school. What?
Thank you. And I'm sorry about all this. Well, I can promise you that I will do everything in my power to keep you safe. As the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, I give you my word.
As if on cue, that's where the video cut out. There was a lot I hadn't understood up until now, but this, only this, I simply couldn't comprehend what I'd heard, because I knew how much Sayaka wanted to get out of here. I know how much she wanted to escape and pursue her dreams with her friends again. She wanted that so bad, she tried to frame me for murder. So why? Why would she say yes to living here for the rest of her life? As I sat there thinking about it, I noticed a sudden light. On the monitor, the video that I thought was finished flashed back on screen. My eyes started back to the screen. And if I was confused before, what I saw next pushed me right over the edge. That's him! what I saw was me. Possibly undeniably me.
Makoto, before we begin, I should let you know that I'll be recording our conversation.
Yes.
Me and the headmaster were looking at each other. He and I are having what seemed like a fairly normal conversation, but I, in the here and now, had absolutely no memory of it. I had no memory of even meeting the headmaster, much less sitting down to talk to him like this.
Shall we get straight to the point? Makoto, there's a chance you may have to spend the rest of your life here in the school. Can you accept that?
This can't be real. I said, yes?
I'm sorry I'm putting you through all this.
Well, I mean, we don't have much of a choice, do we?
But I promise that as long as you're in this school,
What?
I will do everything I can to protect you. As the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, that's the very least I can do for you.
Once again, the video cut out. From there, the video repeated the same scene again and again with the others. Byakuya. Toko. Hina. Everyone. They all said they agreed to live in the school forever. And then... Kyoko. Her interview with him had been recorded just as clearly. Without a doubt, she had met him. She sat down with the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, her father. And when he asked her his question, she answered the same as everyone else. She accepted a life within the school. Just as Kyoko's interview was wrapping up, the monitor suddenly went black. Huh. It wasn't just the monitor, the DVD player had turned itself off. Which of course meant that the DVD wasn't playing anymore. What the heck just happened? Little bitch. Oopsie, looks like it broke. Out of service. What? It just so happened to break just now?
Too bad.
Now then, when it doesn't matter, failure can strike anywhere, anytime. That's what failure is, right? Failure, my ass, you cut the power on purpose. Well, whatever. Even if I watched the whole thing, it'd just be more of the same. He'd ask them the question, and they'd all say yes. I couldn't help myself, let out a huge, exasperated sigh. But as I did, I remembered something.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I had come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my... Okay, we already saw this part. A convenient outcome. Something that seemed to obviously work in favor of the mastermind. So does that mean I've lost my memory too? What about the others? Have we all forgotten? Or...
For anything that had to start, there has to be an end. And if the end comes, then that means it's time for a fresh start. There is no night that doesn't have a dawn. Although that dawn is totally pitch black, there is no storm that won't eventually end. Of course, then that leads to drought. But as I said, every end is the promise of a new beginning. Which is why I'm sure we'll get to meet again. Because the end is only the beginning. Anyway, let's get started. The beginning of the end of the class trial. Everyone get...
Well, looks like it's time. The final class trial. Last time all our lives will be on the line. The last time hope and despair are on the line. I don't have a choice. I have to do this. Okay then. This is the end. And that is the end of the stream tonight as well. I appreciate everyone dropping by as always. I will catch you guys next time. Tomorrow night I'll be streaming Disco Elysium. Or maybe if this is the end of the game, I might stream this. We'll see. But anyways, I'll catch you guys next time.